Oh, hi there. Name's Brad Gimbaldick. Nice to meet you. Were you thinking of starting a YouTube channel to share your boring life with the world? That's a good idea. You could share your first world problems and ask for solutions from nobody that cares. Oh man, you're gonna need a camera for that, by the way. Which one though? That is the question you should be asking yourself right now. Stabilization or autofocus more important? We'll find out.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we have an interesting battle today. We got the Sony ZVE10 with its new 11mm Tony 1.8, and I brought 3 other cameras to compare it to for vlogging purposes. We got the Olympus EM1 III with the 12mm Tony 2. That's what's happening right now. We got GoPro 10 in the bag, and a phone of Chinese nature. When it comes to Sony aps-c, if you're in that universe for some odd reason, this is your lens now. They finally have a vlogging lens, and I don't think anybody, what the hell is that? It was an ant. Nobody has a wide prime for aps-c. I was thinking about it. There's the zooms, Tony 4 shit, but a prime fast one. We got the Leica 9mm for micro four thirds now, but even Fuji doesn't have it. Their widest, 14 mils, and it's a 2.8, and it's heavier than this. Explain that one, Fuji. Explain it. Whereas Olympus doesn't need a wide prime, because the cinema is ours, and when we pick it up, we go into active stab on the Sony. It will probably still be a bit tighter, maybe, than this. Don't quote me on that. So we're walking. We are now walking. This is where micro four thirds should have an edge. But I find even this bullshit digital stab, if you're careful enough, is actually relevant in our lifestyles today. It's good. It's decent. You can't walk fast like I could on the Olympus, as I will demonstrate to you now. Careless in my thoughts and regards for your well-being. I'm Olympus. Versus Sony doing the same thing. Some jerks. There's some jerks, but when I reviewed these yesterday with the 15mm 1.4, I was surprised that even with no stab, if I was just standing there, it was actually usable results. So, the stabilization lines are blurred. They're blurred. I, of course, have a black Pro Mist filter on the Olympus, skewing the results to Advantage City. Taking it off, there's the regular sharpened look. It's so sharp and perfect. It's bullshit. Don't handicap my life. I have to ask myself, like, if I was to vlog doing this shit, which one of these would I want? And I really have to ask. I don't know, they both have 120 frames per second slow-mo, but the Sony's looks pretty bad. In fact, let's compare all of these cameras' slow-mos together. Won that battle, you ask? It was the phone, of course. Huawei P40 Pro with the 960 frames out the rear. Oh, that lady in the back was like, what's he doing? Oh, I'm sure that's fun. I don't understand my new generation, but whatever, he's having fun. So the slow-mo at least has autofocus on the Sony. Olympus, single shot. Even in their OM1, single shot. They don't care about you. Alright, nobody really cares about Olympus, so let's toss them in the garbage. They're a vintage system for people who know what they're looking for. They're good, but they're unheard of and unpopular. So let's switch it out for the GoPro 10. And can this aps-c size sensor compete with a little tiny GoPro? I doubt it. Hey. I actually switched the Sony now to the other side so I could see the flippy screen. GoPro over there on your right hand side. It's kind of funny, even though we're in linear mode, it's still wider than the Sony. Every time Sony tries to make a wide-angle lens, they fail pretty hard. don't they? But it's still wide enough. With that 11mm, makes it a 15 and then a 24 with the Stab crop. But it's still wide. That 24 is good enough if you hold it out there. Not with Sony's vlogging grip. Actually, that's still pretty wide. I complain about nothing. Now, yes, we are on a glimmer glass filter over there on the GoPro. Unfair advantages all over the place here. The real question is the Stab so superior that the image quality lessened is not as noticeable? Is it much worse than the Sony image quality? Are you now appreciating the show more? Did someone steal my scooter and all the camera gear I had? That is tens of dollars of equipment. How will I ever recover? I won't. But herein lies the problem. In my opinion, if you took one of these cameras out, I wish you would take the GoPro, because your footage would be more stable. I know you're not going to be careful with the Sony. You don't deserve the Sony footage. It's only for responsible people who walk like this, like old men easing into a bathtub. What the hell was that? There's a Sasquatch. Or a bird. Either one's terrifying, so don't act like you could be doing better in this situation. So you're not going to be as stable, whereas the GoPro will be. It'll be a more enjoyable vlog. It's so much lighter too. But as a YouTube hobo, you could bring the Sony home, film a video in your studio, and be like, oh, not bad. Not bad. Whereas the GoPro, people would be like, are you filming on a GoPro in your studio? Just use your phone. Upgrade to your phone. What are you doing to us? It's a problem. I love that Sony released these new lenses. I'm just hoping it's because there's a better camera on the way, because this is still really old school. This is basically an A6300 in the codec. It's 4K 30p max, 8-bit, although everything I've shown you today has been 8-bit footage. That means we can't grade it, and that's a problem. You might not have this in your life. Yeah. See, on the GoPro, I don't think you're ever gonna just stop here and chill for this cinematic view. Nobody appreciates it. It's just kind of dead and flat. Am I even in focus? Probably not. I have a close focusing filter on it. The magic's not ours. Whereas the Sony, even though it's blowing out the highlights, you might think, hey, that's a professional camera he's got there. Is he backlit right now? That's fantastic. Wow, I'm going to get one of those through his affiliate links. This is amazing. I'm going to start my new life. It's going to be about my coin collection. But if Sony updates their aps-c camera situation to something new, like something fast, wouldn't that be amazing? Like, the thing about crop sensors compared to full frame is they can be faster. There's advantages, but nobody's doing it. There's no Micro Four Thirds or aps-c camera that has super slow motion beyond what a full frame can do. We only have the Panasonic GH6 doing absolutely rubbish looking 300 frames versus Sony's 240. Barely counts. But you could have a stacked aps-c sensor with super IBIS and then like throw in those ZVE10 slow motion modes on the trigger. You could have something, but that would take effort and desire, which I think Sony lacks in the aps-c world. Hey GoPro. aps-c, Sony just wants to get you into their full frame, I think. So like they don't put much effort into it. I don't know why. They figure it's for like not even enthusiasts, like below it, amateurs who go into Best Buy thinking, I need a little camera, something better than my phone. And then you get the bullshit there, the Canon M50s, your Sony a6000. That's what you get. It's better than your phone, but they're not trying to make a pro aps-c, whereas Fuji is. That's like their territory. They got medium format for the freaks with dollars in their pockets. And then you got the aps-c Pro coming. HX2? XH? It's a dumb name. XH2S? How am I ever going to say that properly in a video, you dicks? I have to think there's some situations where I would rather bring this Sony than the GoPro. It does look better, and it's almost as light, to be honest, with this lens. And I could just backpack clip it, but to be handheld like that, ideally you would be handheld. That's a bit tight now. That's a bit much, so get real with yourself. I was going to compare the phone as well to the Sony, but like no one cares. It's a Huawei P40 Pro, many models old, but it's still unbeatable. I will never get rid of that thing until they beat it themselves. 7,000 frames per second if I wanted it, and I could want it right now.
Let the sun down. Let it
Good content waiting to happen. That little box, the motion trigger, you set it and then something can happen. That's fantastic. That's how I got the shot of that green beetle freak thing. It was so hard. I was trying to get close to it and I'm fine. I was trying and then he would fly away, obviously, and then I got close enough to one and he wasn't moving, so I put the trigger on, and then I moved closer while keeping the camera there, and then he flew off, and we got it. We got the shot. So hopefully Sony works on a Pro aps-c model to challenge Fuji in a death match. I mean, I could film an S-Log 2 or something here and then grade it and have more dynamic range, but the colors, I'm just afraid of Sony colors. Just you do it, Sony, and we move on. So, for vlogging, I think you go with GoPro 10 is much cheaper. Go with the Osmo Action 1. I should have brought that thing. That debunks everything. It's like 200 bucks. And you're good to go. But this is nice for Sony. I'm not as big of a hater as I was, because it's actually doable stab, best autofocus in the game. I choose Sony for my equipment, so not bad. Not bad. Olympus, you still have a place in my heart. Maybe not in Robin Wong's. You got a place in mine. Can you even tell that the GoPro is 5.3K? And this is only 4K? Does it even matter? Does it even show? The glimmer glass filter probably isn't helping. Why is it dented? What happened to that? Oh man. That's $18 down the drain. Man. Alright, I'm gonna leave. What performed the best today? And then buy it. That's how you vote in this poll. Which one do you buy through my affiliate links? Down below. After you subscribe, thumb up the video. Stop leaving me hater comments, you bunch of hobos. You bunch of hobo freaks. Try to walk a mile in my shoes. Try walking those. You stub your toe. Yeah. I'll leave.